We all have to hit okay.
Good evening and welcome. We're continuing our series Marvel Monday, watching all 23 Marvel movies in the order they were released. I'm Frank Gaffney. Here with me is Amy Goldman, like me, a newbie, and Joel Fenster. Not even, he got a haircut this week. And
Got the
Mark
balls up.
Gardner, who has Spider-Man and Amazing Friends. And of course, Annie King is here as well. And of course, Nick the Brit is missing. That's all I'm saying. So this is MCU number 23, which is our last movie, Spider-Man Far From Home from 2019, which I am calling the MCU European Vacation. And but have no fear, we will be continuing. We are going to watch WandaVision in 2 parts. Then we're going to watch The Falcon and the Winter Soldier in 2 parts. And then it will be time for Black Widow. And then we're going to watch Loki. So there's plenty of MCU for us to discuss. Yay.
Yay.
Okay, we start as always with last week's after credit sequence. Was there one?
The clanging.
The
Oh, the
clanging. The clanging.
Yeah, we talked
We
about
talked
it.
about that.
Okay.
And Annie
Okay.
reminded us that there's an Iron Man clanging in the
Oh,
very
right. From the first one, right. Okay, and then, so this movie, Far From Home, starts with a little bit of previously on MCU through a clunky new report and memoriam on the last day of high school, like it was news, but it happened 8 months ago. So, and then Peter buys MJ a gift based on her favorite murder. Tell me, does anybody here have a favorite murder? Anybody? No. It's kind of odd. And I'm sorry, I am not a fan of the Spider-Man Iron Man suit. I don't like his hat just disappearing. He has to take it off. That's the Spider-Man.
I agree.
And I did it really, the Peter Tingle, it sounded sexual.
I think that was why it annoyed him. It was supposed to.
Why couldn't he say Spidey sense?
Yeah.
Why couldn't he say it?
He could.
He
It was
doesn't have-
May who kept saying it. And he kept saying, stop it.
Yeah, but nobody said, oh, it's Spidey sense. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure in the next movie we'll name it.
All right.
The next movie, you think?
Yeah.
All right. And then it was funny when the movie Heart of Iron, the Tony Stark story. But I think we could come up with a better title. How about Stark Realities? Anybody? No?
That's
How about
before
in-
his dad is involved. Come on, Heart of Iron. He gets his power from the
Yeah.
thing in his chest. That makes sense.
How about Dick is now revered?
Dick is now revered.
He's a little bit of a dick. Okay, when Ned was saying that was the words of a boy who met a woman, all I could think of was Manny on Modern Family.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, when did he become Manny? And the guy from Curb Your Enthusiasm, what's his name? Jay Smooth?
JB Smooth.
JB Smooth, sorry. Totally wasted here.
Totally wasted because he's so good. I was so excited he was in the movie. And the other guy, the other teacher
I
got much.
can't have
the other teacher
even
was
one
good.
funny thing to say.
Not really.
And I don't need him to curse, but something funny would have been nice.
Yeah, he's so good.
And so they get to Europe. Why do they go to the museum on their own? It's a school-sponsored trip. They're just like, yeah, go find the museum. We're not going with you. We're the chaperones, but we don't care.
Wasn't
Well,
JB Smooth with them?
Yeah,
No.
they were to the
He
museum.
totally told them, go find the museum. I'll meet you
They're
there.
supposed to meet there.
Yeah, they're supposed to meet there. They're all going to the museum together. They're just not going there together.
Yeah, but you don't just let kids run around Europe.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with that part, but you know.
All right.
They are high school.
And of course, when Peter is fighting the water monster, did the water monster have a name or something?
The water elemental. That's
All right. But no one knows that it's him or sees that it's him. And he doesn't even have his Spidey suit on. How do they not see him? And the battle was a little, for me, a little derivative of the whole train thing in Spider-Man 2 and the boat thing and Homecoming. I'm like, It was a little.
I don't even
redundant.
remember Homecoming, so I didn't feel that at all.
Yeah, it was a little. It was a little. It was a little redundant for me. And then Mysterio says that Nick Fury is the most paranoid and the most dangerous person on the planet. Sorry, he's wrong. That's Kanye West. And then I don't know rock and roll. I'll admit it. I like that kind of stuff. But Peter says, I love Led Zeppelin. And I thought, well,
Yeah.
here's another Led Zeppelin song. I don't know.
That was the joke. That was AC/DC.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
a joke. Well, I
Yeah.
don't know what
it was
AC/DC is.
hilarious.
All right,
I
so
thought
that,
of you, Mark. I thought of you screaming, no, it's AC/DC,
Oh,
some kid.
I thought it was a fantastic, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a funny joke.
yeah, no, I had
Yeah.
no idea. No idea.
Oh.
I didn't know the Led Zeppelin and I didn't know it was AC/DC. So that joke was lost on me. And I'm sure it was lost on every other 18-year-old in the audience. And then at the end, having Nick Fury and what's her name? Maria Hill, Agent Hill,
Yeah.
Yep.
be Skrulls. I don't know if I like that. Because I mean, then they could just that's their way to get out of anything. They could say, "Oh no, Tony Stark didn't die. A Skrull died." So I don't know if I
Yeah.
like that.
Welcome
Yeah.
to comic
Yeah.
books.
Yeah,
See, I felt differently because I love the Skrulls and I love that actor, what's his nuts, and I love the character. So I was like, yay!
Yes, I agree,
I loved
but
it.
it just
But it
seemed
was
like
definitely cheap, a cheap way to get out of it, I
it
think.
definitely seemed like.
Well, I think they're also, I mean, they're using it to lead up to something else that's in the pipeline right now, because they're getting
Sure.
their own Disney Plus TV series
The
sometime.
Skrulls are?
The Skrulls and Nick Fury.
Oh, okay.
Is Ben Mendelsohn going to be in it?
awesome,
Yeah.
cool.
Mysterio says there are no Avengers coming. Of course they're not. It's not an Avengers movie. They never show up. Even though Nick Fury says you can't trust Spider-Man. That's what he says. I can't trust him. And so why wouldn't he call somebody else? Just
Exactly.
anybody. I don't trust him. Oh, okay. But I'm gonna let him go and do it. Even the guy with the arrows, what's his name? Hawkeye. Even him, just get him. He's not doing anything. He's sitting on a farm somewhere.
He keeps retiring.
He's also got his own Disney Plus TV series coming this year.
Oh,
So
Lord.
he's busy.
You don't have time for all of this.
Really?
Happy says, no one dies on my watch. Technically, Iron Man did. I'm just saying. He did.
Well,
All
was,
right.
was Happy there when it happened?
No,
If he wasn't there physically, it's not his watch.
I'm with Joel on that.
And the Mysterio says the whole thing where he's like, "Oh, Spider-Man is a villain, really?" I mean, didn't they have cameras on the bridge and all that? Come on, how are they? They're not footage of what actually happened somewhere. There's cameras everywhere.
I agree.
All right.
I think you're dealing with, you have to take that leap and say, okay, all these people are
Oh, now
techies.
we're back to the
that-
comic book. Take a leap.
Yep.
All
Yep,
right.
exactly.
And then this also, as much as I thought, oh, that's cute, I thought, oh no, having J.K. Simmons be J.J. Jameson just ruins the timeline. I'm like, what? No, he doesn't
Why?
belong in this Spider-Man. He belongs in the other one
Why?
because
Why can't he be in both? Why can't he be in both?
But then
Judi
it's going to
Dench
be
played M in two different, Bond series, essentially.
so when they get to that part where he's a juvenile photographer, they're gonna Jameson's gonna be still J.K. Simmons.
If they get to that part.
You don't think
Also,
they get to it?
well, this would be potential spoilers for the next movie that we don't know what's going on because it's all rumor right now. So
Right.
I don't want to go into it.
All right. So
Let's just
this is funny because you have no frame of reference from the future, like you did on every other movie because you saw all the movies.
Right.
Now we're all in the same boat. Everything is conjecture. You have no idea what they're doing.
Yep.
Yep.
So I like Jake Gyllenhaal. There was no way in hell I thought he was going to be a good guy.
Yeah.
And the whole, I mean, but it was interesting, the whole pretending to be a good guy to get the glasses and that, but I don't know. I thought he was okay. So, but I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. And I think for the first time since we started, I'm going to say 3.25 stars. Because I liked it more than 3 stars, but it's not a 3.5. Because I always have nits to pick, but I felt like it was still fun. And Tom is so good. He really is. Everything about him I love. So, and when she said, take your pants off, I was there. I was there. All right. Okay, that's it for me. Who wants to go next? Wait, you want to read next? Amy, read next thing. Nick, who couldn't
British
be here,
accent?
texted us his thoughts.
My British accent is terrible.
Well,
3
do it to-
stars.
Gubna, just say Gubna after everything.
Governor. 3 stars, Governor. I would have gone higher, but the first half was better. I'm awful. But the first, I gotta go like this. But the first half was better, but the whole reveal, the reality and mysterious was bollocks.
Bullocks. I have to agree a little bit. Amy,
Yeah.
you want to do yours now in your normal New York accent?
Sure. See, that's Showa, by the way, sure. That's how you gotta hear it.
So,
Sure. I liked it a lot. I loved Jake. I thought he was having so much fun. I loved J.K. Simmons at the end. I didn't like the character Mysterious because
Mysterio.
it was, what was I thinking of before? It was just so one-dimensional and so ridiculous. He had this complex that he could destroy the whole planet. It was a little too much for just to be admired and loved. So I
But
thought it was
he's
terrible.
from the comic books, and
I
that's a
assume
real.
so, yeah. I just think it does, to me, it didn't translate well as a movie. It was just a ridiculous character. But I'm still gonna give it 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. And in the vein of when Mark says, I just checked my brain at the door, did I enjoy it? And I enjoyed it a lot. I laughed a
Yeah.
lot. And I
do
just had
too.
so much fun with it, just like I did the other Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, really liked it.
All right, Mark, you want to go next?
Sure. I'm actually going only 3 1/3 stars.
Oh, God.
For me, the plot was a
Well,
little
that's-
convoluted
that's-
to me.
That's 3.33, which is
Yeah.
more than
I
my
know.
3.25.
It is, and I usually go high, especially with Spider-Man. I love, and I'm okay with the characters now. And this one was a fun movie. It's just the plot, like you guys a lot alluded to, it was just kind of dumb for me.
It was a
and
very overly simple plot. Very simple, silly, stupid for kids. Yeah.
But I would argue the opposite, actually, because a bunch of ex-Stark employees get together, say we're gonna spend millions of dollars to somehow intercept these glasses that are going to go to Peter Parker that we know about. And the way to do it is to create these elementals to get drafted basically by Nick Fury, hoping, it's all contingencies, hoping that he's going to then introduce me to Peter Parker to get these glasses. It's way too many contingencies. And I know I'm the one who keeps saying you've got to go with it, this movie, but it was dumb. It was dumb
Oh
for
my
me.
gosh! And when Jake Gyllenhaal was addressing his minions, that was like, fast forward, please, because this is the most longest, ridiculous speech in the whole MCU.
Well,
right now.
but that's given the whole background. They had to tell you what the whole place. It's the evil guys.
Yeah.
It's a Bond movie. I got to tell Bond my evil plot now. So
Yeah.
that
it
and I
could have
thought
happened in 1 minute, not in 5.
sure.
And
The
what
other part,
isn't the geeky guy with no hair, Ralphie from A Christmas Story?
Did not notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot.
what's Ralphie?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
yes.
William is Peter Billingsley.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Peter Billingsley, yeah.
Yeah.
He is much
Totally.
cuter than he is in this movie. He's actually very cute. Hi, Mark, sorry, go on.
It's okay. The other part I didn't buy was, if you think about with Nick Fury, it's basically the government harassing a 16-year-old to get involved in a war instead of go to school. And even as badass as Nick Fury is, it was, again,
But they're on
and
vacation.
also-
They're on vacation now.
Well,
So
and technically, does Nick Fury still work for the government? Because Shield doesn't exist anymore, and the blip did, killed him off and then brought him back, and who knows where his allegiances are actually
But then what the hell
and
are they
he's a
doing?
Skrull.
Well, yeah,
And he's a Skrull.
And that's the other part of this, that it's just like Jake Gyllenhaal and all his friends spending millions to get nothing in return, just to spend more millions to come up with fake plots to save the world. It's the same thing. Then if Nick Fury doesn't work for Shield, who's paying the bills? Him and Maria and they have a whole crew. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on that.
No, but Mark,
And also-
they were Skrulls, so then they're not even Nick Fury.
Which I also have another problem with that, because you can imitate somebody's voice doesn't mean you can't act like him that much. Like, I mean, he's the best actor in the world, though. This
Right.
Skrull, you know what I mean?
It might have been cute to see them do things out of character and think, oh, that's a little strange. Or why
I would have liked that better.
Or why
I would have
don't they
liked
know
that better.
All right, let's
And then
write
have
the
a big
next
reveal
one.
at the end.
Let's write the next
Yeah.
one.
And also, the reason I have this up here behind me is because he needed them. Because Spider-Man is basically, if these were real elemental creatures, he's useless. He can't fight fire or air or earth, whatever. But these two would have helped. Anyway, that's why it's up there.
So she's the fire girl and he's the Iceman?
Firestar and Iceman could have helped out with the fire and water elements. Anyway, that's just me being a nerd. What else? But it was fun. It was fun, funny, yeah. And it had the special effects, the visual effects I thought were very well done.
I love the
Yeah.
elementals. They look so great.
Yeah, and Mysterio looked with the cloudy. I mean, it was very true to the comic in that sense. He looked good there. I
and I thought
I
it
like
was
Peter.
very interesting that when they showed that it was an illusion, it was like, oh, so this is like behind the scenes making of this actual movie, because everything is layered in CGI.
Yeah.
Exactly. I like Peter ghosting Nick Fury. Happy showing up to save the day, kind of, for both Peter and then for his classmates. The whole, as you said already, Frank, the Led Zeppelin line was hilarious. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal did a great job. It's my third time seeing the movie, so I know what's going to happen, and I still buy him as a great, nice guy for the first half, and then he becomes a big asshole. I thought he was good, and that's really it. The Peter Tingle I hated, and I really think that's the one thing I have with these movies that they totally got. In each Spider-Man movie, he basically doesn't even have the spider sense. He refers to it, but it never actually appears, which bugs me. It only appeared in a non-Spider-Man movie, in Infinity War, when his hairs went up because he sensed something. The only time they actually showed what would really have happened. So that kind of bugs me that they got that part of Spider-Man wrong, I feel. And that's it for my rant.
Well, and like I said, the Iron Man suit is just not right.
Yeah. Well, but I'm okay with them doing some stuff differently. Just like in the first three Tobey Maguire movies, the webs came directly from him, which is not true to Spider-Man. He needs his web shooters. So I'm okay with changing stuff in the movies a little bit. But if you're going to refer to the Peter Tingle, which I hated as much as Peter did in the movie, it was just, I don't know. Certain elements don't work for me as a fan. But overall, like you guys have both said, it's still a lot of fun. It's a fun movie.
Do you ever get the Mark Tingle? It's a different thing.
3 times a night.
Oh, okay. And what do you say?
I went with 3.5. I watched it with Dan, and he didn't really like it as much. But I love a good, I liked it for a lot of different things. Some of it was kooky, like the Brad character was kind of to me. I like that Happy got more of a role, and I'm interested to see where it's going to go if it's going to go anywhere with Aunt May. That was kind of funny. I thought it was a little crazy seeing Iron Man everywhere they went, the big murals of Iron Man everywhere. But in the end, it was really a story about him growing into it and accepting, what his role is, and making mistakes and learning from it. Because still 16, so I did like that about it. I'm not sure how I like the love interest yet, but I guess we'll have to
And
see.
that's Zendaya.
Right. But I thought it was cool. The glasses were cool. I liked them, and that was kind of fun thing. So yeah, it was enjoyable enough. There are a lot of things that I was like iffy about, yeah, but like you guys mentioned it already, but
It should get an extra half a star just for there being no Stan Lee.
Yes.
that was my question. There was no Stan Lee anywhere, right?
Was there?
No.
No, not physically. The movie's dedicated at the very end to him and Steve Ditko, they co-created Spider-Man. So
Yeah, but Ditko was dead for a while now, right?
he died a couple of years ago at this point.
Yeah.
I don't remember this
All
exactly.
right, Joel.
0 stars, hated it. Worst movie ever. Not kidding, of course.
I don't think any MCU movie would get 0 from you. I think the lowest you've given any of them has been 3 stars.
No, I think I gave.
I think we all gave the Hulk under 3.
Hulk
A
was-
2.5. Yeah,
Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Mark. 3.33333333. It's a lot of fun. It's check your brain at the door and just have fun with it. The whole thing with Mysterio, obviously, if you're a comic book fan, he's going to turn at some point. And unfortunately, if you've watched enough movies, he's going to turn at some point. I'm not talking about Marvel
Yeah,
movies.
no, I definitely knew.
Right,
from the
Joe. If you
get-go.
watch any kind of movie, he's
Yeah.
gonna turn.
It's
Right.
it's just a little too predictable. It doesn't ruin the movie. It doesn't even ruin the character for me. They did a nice job taking the character from the comic books, who is kind of goofy to begin with, and tying him into the MCU as we know it by making him a former Stark employee. Because in the comic books, if I remember correctly, he's just an out of work illusionist or something like that.
Like a magician?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mysterio the Magician.
Something.
I'd watch that show.
Right?
But I like Jake Gyllenhaal in the part. I wish there's that part of me that's about to say I wish they didn't kill him off at the end of the film, but then again, anything can happen.
Yeah, he
it's-
could be a Skrull.
yeah, exactly.
Who knows?
Or he mentions it himself, even though it's a false lead, when he says that he's from an alternate dimension,
Right.
another Earth. That's coming up in the MCU sooner rather than later anyway. And I love the
Right,
fact,
isn't there another Spider-Verse coming out?
well, the Spider-Verse stuff is not connected to this. It's its own, Into the Spider-Verse is its own anime.
Multiverse.
But
Multiverse.
the next Doctor Strange movie is called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and that comes out in I think February or March. So
And who's playing Madness?
that would be all of us.
Oh.
And obviously, with Doctor Strange appearing in the next Spider-Man movie before his own movie, there's going to be lots of tie-ins going in that direction. I love the little Easter egg of that when Gyllenhaal mentions the 2 Earths that are numbered, that the one he's on now is 616. That's the actual number of the Marvel universe in the comic books that we run through.
Oh
So,
wow.
The Universe 616? Not comic book issue number?
No.
Right.
I also like the fact that the elementals are kind of throwbacks to other Spider-Man villains. The Earth Elemental is a little like Sandman. The Water Elemental is a little like Hydra Man. I know there are 2 others that compare to the Fire and the Air one, but I don't remember who the hell they are. Spider-Man's got so many he's like Batman. You have the A-list villains, and then you have the, oh my God, who the hell is this guy? And why is Polka Dot Man a thing? villain. And I mention him because he's going to be in the Suicide Squad movie. But anyway, it's just a lot of fun. Tom Holland's great. They
Yes.
cast everything well. Little things that I picked up on. Again, this is only my 3rd time seeing it, but I noticed that Betty and Ned, when they came back from Europe, are wearing the exact same shirt even though they've broken up. I'm like,
That was
okay,
fun.
that's kind of funny. But it was a lot of fun. So that's all I
I
got.
agree. All right, cool.
I just want a movie with all Ned.
All Ned all the time,
Love
or
Ned.
Manny from
Well-
Modern Family.
I hate
By
Ned.
the way,
Manny.
go check his profile picture on IMDb. He looks like a completely different person now. He's completely bald. Check out his pictures on IMDb, Ned. He looks like he's a different person. So,
I will,
all right.
as we speak.
Okay, so then we have the post-credit sequence, and I totally didn't write it down. Was
Well,
it the
I'm-
J.K. Simmons thing?
Yeah, the J.K.
was
fine.
Simmons, yeah,
So I already said that, and saying that Spider-Man's actually the villain.
yeah. Spider-Man is.
And
I
he's
mean, I
Peter
kind
Parker.
of do. I kind of
But he
remember
didn't-
that from superhero things in general. That whole thing of now they're being posted as a villain. Did Superman have that or somebody
No, but
else?
well,
not in that sense.
I'm sorry.
no, but with J. Jonah Jameson, that was always the through line. He always was painting Spider-Man as a villain, so that is nothing new. But the big reveal was that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. He just told the world his secret
Yes.
identity,
Yes.
and that is going to lead up. Well, again, it's all conjecture, as Joel can say too. But it's going to have a major impact on the next Spider-Man movie, I think.
I'm
And-
sure.
Oh, it
I
has.
also laughed because this movie ended exactly the same as the last one, with somebody going, "Oh fuck," and then that cutting. That was cute.
All right, cute.
I have just one quick thing about J.K. Simmons. He's great in the Sam Raimi films as Jameson.
Right.
I love the fact that they brought him back for this, and I like that they've given him a different twist to make him a slightly different character. I know that there was an interview with J.K. Simmons about it, and he actually does not like the way that they made him more Alex Jones than just big loudmouth.
Yeah,
And so it'll be interesting to see where they take that at this point.
yeah.
Whether
So he's going to be in the next movie?
there's a lot of rumors as to who is actually in the next movie, and that's part of the problem.
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone. And then we say everyone who has ever been in a previous Spider-Man movie outside of the MCU. The only two we know for sure are Jamie Foxx as Electro and Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus.
Well, I'm
But-
looking at the page for the next movie. It's called No Way Home,
Yes.
and it shows the whole cast. Are some of them not
No,
real? Okay.
No. If whoever's on
And
that,
Dr. Octopus wasn't a Tom Holland villain.
no, he was with Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
They are taking
I hope he's on a diet.
well, they're de-aging him, from what I understand.
Oh,
in
wow.
lots. But
Ah,
there are rumors
Hopefully
that
they'll
Willem
be
Dafoe was
depounding
on
him
the
as
set,
well.
and
Rumors that what?
that there were rumors that Willem Dafoe was on the set at
Ah.
some point, so he would be the Green Goblin again. It's
Yeah.
going to be interesting,
Yeah, he's not
and
listed.
we're going to see something within the next month, I assume, because if the movie's coming out at Christmas time, so July is when they're going to start peppering trailers out. So
Oh wow.
And,
And you're
Frank,
right.
Frank, you mentioned that you asked that Alfred Molina was in the Tobey Maguire movie, but Jamie Foxx was in the what's his name, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie. So it's it's three different universes of Spider-Mans are all combining together, probably, as Joel's saying, it's probably going to be more than the two of them. I think I would imagine Tobey Maguire will be there as well, and a lot of the other people that we've seen.
there are rumors that both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in the movie, and Emma Stone and Kirsten Dunst, and they're all over the place.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Amazing Spider-Man.
So all I could think about when he was using his cell phone to take pictures and stuff, and I don't know whether it was in one of the other movies or was it actually in the cartoon, where he would just zap his camera with his webbing and then fly past it and it would go off, and that's how he got his pictures for the Daily Bugle.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
He
Yeah.
did it in the comics. He did it in the cartoons, and I think Tobey Maguire did it in at least one of the movies. So
Because no cell phones for it. Yeah.
Right. Oh,
All right,
funny.
so next week, we're gonna watch the first 5 episodes of WandaVision, because Joel says there's a cliffhanger after
What's
5.
the other end credit sequence
Oh, there was another one?
Yes.
with the
Very
scrolls,
end of the credits.
with the
Which
scrolls,
was?
the scrolls.
Oh, the Squirrels.
Yes.
Didn't we already discuss that?
Well, before we started,
Oh,
Before we recorded.
no, I thought I said that. I thought I
Maybe
had a
I don't
Squirrel
remember.
thing.
We talk about a lot of crap.
There's the
And
whole
having
Nick-
Nick Fury and Agent Hill be Skrulls is a huge cop-out. I said that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, and I think I mentioned they're going to be in their own
Yeah,
TV series.
that
Okay,
was
never
one of
mind.
my,
So-
Joel, trying to keep up.
Where
I'm
was
trying.
Nick Fury?
In space with the
On a crow ship.
scrolls.
Yeah, just having a
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah.
All right, so next
Okay.
week,
Sorry.
are you sure, Joel?
Yeah, I'm
You
sure.
sure? Okay.
I'm sure.
We'll be watching the first 5 episodes of WandaVision because Joel says there's a big cliffhanger after episode number 5. And those are, of course, streaming on Disney Plus. I'm Frank Gaffney. Thank you for joining us. And see you next week.
Wow.
I have a tagline now. I love it. That's it?
You're still
Oh.
recording.
Hit
I know.
I
stop.
think we're still recording.
We are.
Yeah, we're still recording.
All
Want to hit
right.
stop?
I'm stopping it.